getting more and more elements from, I'm just sort of dragging along this big bag of sounds that I've been collecting.
That explains the rather large instrument in his home studio out in the Connecticut countryside.
It's microtonal, as you'll hear. It doesn't go from like half steps.
It is an odd-sounding thing, to be sure, called a Chromelodeon. But to Simon's ear, that odd sound is the beginning of a conversation.
But there's something about that, you know, that creates a mood.
Sounds, and not just the silent ones, have always spoken to Paul Simon.
These are Vietnamese. They go.
He has shelves full of exotic instruments in his studio at his home in the Connecticut countryside.
So I use it like this, as like a sound.
Each one of them an auditory muse.
I always called it a twanger, but it turns out it's from I think India, and it's called a gopi chad.
You'll hear it very clearly on the first song off Simon's 13th solo studio album. He calls it the werewolf.
And like when I heard it, it sounded like the werewolves, the werewolf, you know. So that's where I took the title from.
Milwaukee man led a fairly decent life, made a fairly decent living, had a fairly decent wife. She killed him, a sushi knife. Now they're shopping for a fairly decent afterlife. Ooh.
At 74.